First, fair, everywhere. 19 News on Cleveland's 43 starts now.
Good morning, and we are taking a live look outside. You can see Cleveland, Parma, Madison, and Conneaut, and I don't care where you're looking, we know it is cold out there. It's looking pretty calm out there right now, but more snow could be on the way soon. I'm Vic Anchor in for Aria Janelle, and First Alert meteorologist John Loftman is joining us today. And you know, I know you can tell us a lot about what's going on. The main thing is it is very cold out there.
Yeah, well, exactly. Not the snow so much as the cold. And we pride ourselves on being the first to alert you, and more First Alert details coming up.
Thanks, John. The man accused of killing 2 people on I-71 last month is now being held on $1 million bond. 30-year-old Nishan Wood pleaded not guilty to charges included aggravated murder and attempted murder. The shooting happened back on December 20th near the I-71 and I-490 split. Police found a car crashed into a wall with 2 people inside. Both were shot. 35-year-old Emerald Vanderhurst died at the scene. 31-year-old Jordan King died later at the hospital. Wood was arrested earlier this month. His next court date is January 21st. 2 tow truck operators were hit by a car on I-90 last month while helping at a crash scene in Madison Township. State troopers were investigating a crash near milepost 207 when a Dodge Charger lost control and went off the road, hitting the patrol car and striking both tow operators. 39-year-old Daniel Clack was seriously hurt. 37-year-old Joshua Holstein had only minor injuries. The 2 troopers inside the patrol car were not hurt. State Patrol says that the alcohol and drugs do not appear to be factors in the case. Catherine Huntley is following up on this story today, and we'll have a full report coming up this afternoon. Well, we now know the name of the 20-year-old man shot and killed near an I-71 exit ramp early Thursday morning. The Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner identified him as Jonathan Payne of Cleveland. Cleveland EMS found Payne around 2:30 Thursday morning near West 25th Street and View Road, suffering from a gunshot wound. They rushed him to the Metro Health Medical Center where he died. Cleveland Police homicide detectives are investigating. If you know anything, you are asked to call Cleveland Police. And we now continue our coverage of a house fire that happened on Lakewood's west side late last night. This was the scene on Eldred Avenue. The fire chief says the fire started in the back of the duplex and everyone made it out okay. Firefighters had to work in some icy conditions, adding some extra drama to get this put out, but they're still looking into how the fire got started. A 19 missing alert for this 14-year-old on your screen. Her name is Natasha Colon. We've shown you her picture a few weeks ago. Cleveland police tell us this is the second time she's gone missing in just a matter of weeks. Now officers say she was last seen on West 126th Street. She was wearing black and white plaid pants, a beige top, and a beige sweater. If you see Natasha or know where she might be, please call Cleveland Police. And Alliance Police need your help finding a missing 21-year-old woman. Sherrill Moody left her home on West Washington Street Sunday night about 10:30. She was on foot and doesn't have a phone or a car. Police say she has diminished mental capacity and left without her medication that she needs to take twice a day. She was last seen wearing a black jacket with white sleeves, blue jeans, and a white Air Force One shoes. If you see her or know where she might be, call police. Well, it costs a lot of money to put your kids into daycare, which is why leaders here in Ohio want to make sure your money is being spent properly. There's a new bill to prevent daycare fraud, which is what we're seeing allegations in other parts of the country. Noelle Williams tells how this all works.
It's called the Child Care Fraud Prevention Act. Reporting, Noelle Williams, 19 News.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, and Trade Representative Jamison Greer are in Northeast Ohio. They're visiting the Ford plant in Avon right now as part of their Freedom Means Affordable Cars tour. Let's listen in live right now.
$60 down to an attainable 35 miles per gallon. So not only are we going to have cost savings with that, But now our car companies can actually produce cars that Americans want to buy. Now, I'm not advocating for the 1970s station wagon, but you could make the station wagon again under this standard. That's a different group of people who make those analyses, but that's a possibility. I don't want the government to dictate the kind of cars we build. I want the freedom of innovation, and I want consumer demands to drive the cars that are produced. Just on the affordability side, and the president has worked very hard at fuel prices. And so you look at what we pay per gallon of gas, and I'm sure Administrator Zeldin will talk about this, but we are at over a 5-year low. Donald Trump, 47, is now competing with Donald Trump, 45, to see if he can get the gas prices lower in this administration than he did in the last administration. But the last time gas prices were this low was 2019, and we're not done yet. We're going to keep pushing those prices lower, which means that's more money in Americans' hands. And and I'm sure the Congress will talk about this, but in the effort to make prices more affordable, the Congress, in one big, beautiful bill.
Stream on our 19 News app, our Katie Tursek. It will be at the event. She's at the event right now. We'll have a full report coming up this afternoon. A 19 health alert this morning, and it's about the flu. We just got new data, and it shows the virus was spreading worse before winter break than ever. Cuyahoga County tracks school absences. You can see on the yellow bars on this chart that there were fewer sick days the first week back to class for kids in our area. That's great news, but we're not out of the woods yet. That blue line is the 5-year average, and you can see flu cases often start going up as we get closer to February. We'll, of course, keep an eye on those trends and those numbers, and we'll let you know if there are any big changes. The Cleveland Clinic wants to open another trauma center in Cleveland. This center would open on their main campus. The goal is to have it open by 2028. However, Metro Health Medical Center, Cleveland's first level 1 trauma center, is against the move. Now, they released a statement saying, in part, quote, Metro Health is alarmed for our community and calls on the Cleveland Clinic to reevaluate its plans. It goes on to say Greater Cleveland cannot sustain 3 level 1 trauma centers. It will harm patient outcomes and increase costs for the entire community, end quote. University Hospitals has a level 1 trauma center on its main campus. It's less than 2 miles from the clinic's proposed ER, and so far we haven't heard from UH on the clinic's plans. More state money going to fight opioid addiction across Ohio. More than $45 million will go to more than 240 projects. The money will help with recovery, housing, and treatment. It comes from the One Ohio Recovery Foundation. The foundation got the money from a $7 billion settlement with drug companies. Those companies played a role in the national opioid epidemic. Well, for the first time, the Akron Zoo now has mountain lions. It's Ozette and Nia. You can see him right there. Boy, those are good-looking cubs, aren't they? They were rescued in Washington State. They're settling in the zoo's old jaguar habitat right now, but you won't be able to see them for a few months. But we'll let you know when they make their big debut, and they'll be the only mountain lions in any zoo in our area. Winter Wonder Weekends are back at the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo today. You can visit exhibits and stay warm with a ride in the heated shuttle. The zoo also offers guided walks, scavenger hunts, and activities for kids, including a stuffed animal clinic and story time. Winter Wonder Weekends runs every weekend through March 8th. On January 16, 1991, the White House announced the start of Operation Desert Storm to drive Iraqi forces out of Kuwait. In an address to the nation, President Bush announced fighter bombers are hitting targets in Iraq. After 6 weeks of fighting, the war would end and Iraqi troops would leave Kuwait.
President Trump threatens the Insurrection Act.